Well, the last one of these did pretty darn well, so let's let it roll again. What is up, guys? Zan from the Zan Madden YouTube channel. Today's video, I've got a little bit of a Zan for you. You guys seem to like when I get emotional. You know, I try not to get angry about things anymore. Younger me would have been nuclear by this point. I'm gonna hold it in okay. But I got a few things that I really need to complain about as it pertains to the title update that just went out for November in Madden 24. First and foremost, I've got to read the most important notes of this gameplay portion of the patch. You're going to note that it says that there was tuning to the ratings threshold for catching interceptions in competitive playstyle to decrease the number of interceptions. At face value, that's great. It sounds great, except for the part where it says developer note, and then in italics it says this applies to open catches, since physical contact with a player or the ball can still cause the ball to be knocked out. Yeah, where's the direction that EA is taking with punishing players as it pertains making poor decisions on offense? Because this whole note is just the total opposite of what we're wanting as a community right now. How often is it that we are complaining about wide open drops?
All the time.
Now, I'm not talking about wide open, I don't have pick artists on my guy, he swats the ball down for no reason. That obviously is annoying and we know what causes that. Let's talk about the majority of bad reads in Madden. Let's think about it for a sec. We're talking literally about players throwing the ball to a covered player. So it would make nothing but sense that my guy that is intercepting the ball or attempting to intercept the ball would have the offensive player also in the area to potentially cause us to drop an interception when we are the one who gets to the ball first. Now, I get it. There's always going to be the sim players in the chat, and this isn't a rant on sim comp. I promise you, I have respect for players of all backgrounds, but I constantly hear, well, if they had good hands, they would be wide receivers, right? Get that mess out of here.
Get it out, get it out, get it out.
We're talking about a video game where you have to instill good practices in offensive players to make correct decisions, and they need to be punished by making poor choices. We are 4 months into this title. If you cannot consistently make good reads in arguably the worst zone coverage, the loosest man coverage, match is barely working. We'll get to that here in a second. Madden in history, then I don't know what to tell you other than that.
You stink!
I'm not the best passer in the world, but you have to take ownership of mistakes that you make as a player. This nonsense where it's like, oh, well, you know what? You had a teammate in the area and he made you drop the ball. That means that they threw it to defenders. How can I not come away with the football in that situation? Why am I being penalized for having a teammate in the area? I don't decide when my opponent wants to throw the ball at 2 or maybe 3 of my defenders down the field on a lob. Why should I be punished for multiple players on my team converging on the football and taking a catch in traffic penalty because, you know, some guy on my team happened to get into the play late as my guy was jumping up for an interception? It makes no sense from a game balancing standpoint, and that is the majority of the drop picks that we are talking about. We are not necessarily talking about the blatant swats in the flat. Like I mentioned, those are annoying and those needed fixed, and I think this patch is going to address that. That's fine and dandy. We're talking about the fact that mistakes in a game that is very easy offensively don't get punished at a high enough clip, and this dev note goes so far as to explain that they're leaving that in the game. That makes no sense. None whatsoever. None whatsoever.
Like us bull.
And then they follow that up with another legacy issue. Again, kind of seeing this theme of constantly chasing our tails. Fixed an issue causing undesired catch drops when the quarterback would get hit during or shortly after throwing the football. Basically, this is EA saying, hey, in order to fix the issue that we created a month ago with the dropped interceptions, we've got to bring back defensive linemen catching throw out of sack picks. At this point, I'm saying hallelujah, because whatever at this point, any way we can get the defense to catch the ball, fine. But why are we back to this situation again? Why? Why are we back to this situation once again? I just don't understand how the same issues around the defense catching the ball always rise up. The ones that should be caught aren't. The ones that shouldn't be caught by defensive linemen are. Only wide open defenders having the ball thrown to them will catch interceptions. That lends more towards a really terrible free form, or maybe an under pressure inaccurate occurs and the ball gets airmailed to a wide open corner. Do you see where I'm going with this? This is all based off of just random nonsense. It's all random nonsense, and none of it funnels back to the decisions that are made by the offensive player to throw the ball willingly into traffic at a defensive player. That is all we need in this game, outside tighter zone coverage, match coverage rules, tackling, pursuit angles, things like that. But most importantly, we need to catch the football, okay? So that's my rant on drop picks. If you guys are enjoying this video, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you're notified of all the uploads here on the channel. I typically do more tips content, but I had to get this off my chest. Now let's talk about something that's a little bit more selfish, near and dear to my heart. You guys know me if you've been with me for a long time. I'm the match guy. I love my match coverage. I love the rules of match coverage. I love understanding them, being able to apply them and to confuse my opponents. But somehow we are 4 months, or we're really 3 months at this point, but by the time the next title update comes out and the next opportunity to fix what I'm about to talk to you about, we will be 4 months into the title. We're 4 months in without a fix to the primary match coverage rule set that applies to the offenses that you face 90% of the time online. So we all know that you guys are facing bunch offset, tight. You guys are also facing a lot of compression in general. It could be bunch wide with everybody all bunched up. These types of formations are notorious for having a runoff route and a corner route, especially if you put them on the short side of the field. And traditionally, when you talk about match coverage, the one rule set everybody knows, if they know no other rules about match coverage, is what is called the box check. We've talked about it here on this channel. In fact, I did a video a couple weeks back showing you guys how to fix the broken box check, but it is convoluted and it does take too much time to do, and we need the box check to work as it's intended to in this game. It's great that we have a workaround, but that can't be the only solve for this situation going unfixed. No matter what it is you face, there is going to be a streak in a corner route in that offense. It doesn't matter if it's spread or if it's compression, but majority of offenses we face are compression, tight slots, halfback weak, compression. We need the ability for our match quarters to play the box check appropriately. The fact of the matter is that we are now in a game that is going to be at least the first Tuesday or Thursday, maybe the second Tuesday or Thursday in December, before we are going to get a coverage that is functional against the most prominent offensive metas in the game. Now, EA is a company that prides themselves on saying that they're staying on top of the metas. They want to balance APs or not make over aggressive changes to APs until they know something's established. Bunch has been the damn meta for 10 years, arguably 20 years. It's been the best offense forever. How are we playing this game 4 months into the year without a working match coverage, much less the fact that this match coverage has been in the game since Madden 19 and was functional every other year up until this year? It was arguably the only coverage that worked in terms of match coverage effectively. You had more bugs in spread out sets than you did compression, and now we are having more bugs in compression than we do the spread sets. It's just constantly chasing your tail. A lot of this comes down to offense needs to be punished. It needs not to be so easy, but when they do make a mistake, it needs to be caught. Hence the 10 minutes I spent complaining about drop picks. And then the fact of the matter is we only have 2 real adjustments towards corner routes in this game. Man it up, shade it down, shade outside. Well, that's impossible when you're guessing which one of 3 players in a compression formation is running the corner, because they have a hot route master, which is grossly undervalued in an AP standpoint.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
And we also can't just go out there and throw 25-yard or 30-yard zone drops out there, because corner routes can still get over the top of them. In fact, bunch strong is probably the most popular corner route in the game. Can't even play the match that I just spent the last 5 minutes talking about against that formation. So you have to play zone drops. Do you get what I'm talking about here? This all comes down to me to we're not addressing the most important issues with this game. It's fine if you want it to be offensive forward, offensive friendly, points to be scored. That keeps your casual audience engaged with the game. But I think casuals and pro players, or anyone that is guys in the middle can all come together and agree that bare minimum mistakes need to be punished in this game. It could be pass first, it could be run first. Juking into a hit stick should result in more fumbles. Things like that obviously are going to be very, very important. But these notes for me are some of the most important elements of this patch that I think EA is just completely missing the forest for the trees here. In fact, that's what I said online. But I'm gonna go ahead and stop my rant right there. I hope that you guys enjoyed me getting a little bit emotional. I don't know. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys Monday. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.
Did someone change my name to Baskin Robbins? Because I feel like a banana split.